Well, I don't know if this is a pearl, but I do think we need to have some broader conversations about money and politics. Uh, we can't have, in my opinion, a legislature that is so disproportionately filled with people who financially have no real connection to the lives of everyday people. I am sure that both of the candidates in this race, good and decent people, but I'm just concerned about the money. The Constitution allows it. You know, the Supreme Court has ruled as they have, but I really do think it boxes out our opportunity to have more dignified, more policy-focused conversations. Now, again, we've talked about this earlier. Voters don't necessarily want that. They're moved by the anger and the animus. I get that. I just don't think we're better off as a result.
Why do you think Trone wants this seat again?
I think it's access to be able to have an impact and be able to do something. I don't know if he's bored with his wealth, or maybe with, I don't. But it is a different kind of influence when you have a political seat, right? And so who knows what his personal motivations are? One would presume that he probably has a couple of ideas that he thinks would be helpful as well. But this money thing is an interesting question. And again, across most of the races we've talked about tonight, there's a varied kind of distribution of how money has acted in each of these races. So in Congressional District 6, we've got two candidates who don't live in the district, both self-funded multimillionaires, right? With a lot of attack ads that are a little bit confusing, pretty vague, a little bit right, a little bit wrong, as we were talking about. But then you also have other candidates who some are taking public matching funds and others are not. Some are taking PAC money and some are not. And there's some different reasonings and motivations for that. But I think from a theoretical perspective, if we want to talk about money in politics, one of the things that we usually end up talking right away about is PAC money, third-party influence. And again, we mentioned earlier, self-funded candidates is one of the options of getting around the influence of third-party spending if you're a voter who believes in that. But there's kind of multiple facets to this problem because, on the other hand, with a self-funded candidate, there are just other issues that might arise in that case too.
McClain Delaney is speaking right now. Let's listen.
But I couldn't do it without Team Maryland and so many of you in the room. So I just have to say a couple of thank yous that are so important to me right now. And as I was traveling around from pool, it was April showers today, of course, and it was a downpour. But there were so many people at all of those polling stations that were out there because they care about our country, they care about this state, and they care about lifting up for others. So first I have to say thank you to all of those people on my campaign team. I see them all here. They were there in the rain. They were all day long talking to the voters and out there. And my whole campaign team that has been tirelessly working for the past 6 months. I would not be able to do it without them. And thank you, particularly Susan Kennedy and Nick London. And I have to say to my official team on Capitol Hill and in Frederick, thank you so much. And Kaylee, wherever you are, thank you so much. And the whole, and Aniston. Thank you to my dear husband, John Delaney.